Hey everyone, it's Tuesday's Top 10 in Under 10. Today I am going to do my top 10 favorite Alice Cooper albums. Let me know what your top 10 are down below. I would like to know. All right, I'm going to do this in backwards, and this is in order. So, number 10, From the Inside. Love this album. I got to hear this album pretty early on in my life. I think the first time I heard it, I was maybe 10, 11 years old. Changed me right away. Went out and bought the album for myself. Thought it was absolutely fantastic. I have listened to this album. I'd have lost track. Every word on there, I can sing along with that album while it's playing and not even think twice about it. And realistically, if I was triggered the right way, I could probably sing the whole entire album. Co-written with Bernie Taupin, fantastic. And that's Bernie Taupin of Elton John co-writing fame. Next one. This is a double album. I'm putting them together because Alice classifies it as a double album himself. He recently said so on an interview with Professor of Rock, and that is Brutal Planet and Dragontown. I am including them together. You can tell they were written at the same time. They have the same vibe, the same feel, same co-writer, same producer, Bob Marlette. Fantastic. Awesome job on these albums. Enough said. Pick them up. These ones are great representations of Alice in the early 2000s. Really thick, really heavy as well. Really, really awesome albums, honestly. You got to check them out. After that, Along Came a Spider. Could not believe when this album came out. Thought this was a total banger. I know there's a lot of people that aren't a huge fan of it. I love it. I love all the albums usually that have to deal with Steven and, continuing the storyline. I love Alice as a psycho killer, going out there and being all nuts from the inside, just kind of caring. So I really do thoroughly enjoy this album. I think it's fantastic. I love the musicianship on it too. Really great rock album, like really hard, heavy rock album. Then we've got Welcome to My Nightmare. How do you not love Welcome to My Nightmare? I know a lot of people would put this a lot further up their list, but I do have other albums I definitely prefer over Welcome to My Nightmare. For me, I think I got Welcome to My Nightmare Burnout, which is why it's on the back half at number 6. Definitely one of the first Alice albums I owned. I think I got it for my 10th birthday. My dad bought it for me. Brilliant album. And honestly, it's probably the album I've covered the most songs from, as I've covered 3 or 4 off this album. Absolutely love the album. Next up, the other album I have covered the other songs from, for the most part. $1 Billion Babies. I went back and forth, actually. I almost left $1 Billion Babies off of here. And then I'm like, no, how do I leave $1 Billion Babies off of here? It's the song, that song itself is the one that made me want to play drums more than anything, man. That boom, tap, tap, da boom, tap. So I had to have $1 Billion Babies on here. Plus, we're talking about No More Mr. Nice Guy, Sick Things, which, I have covered in multiple versions of my band. Or bands I played with over the years. Sick Things is probably the Alice Cooper song I've covered the most. No More Mr. Nice Guy is brilliant as well. I Love the Dead. How do you not love I Love the Dead, right? Just great song. Okay, next one, School's Out. So just so we're clear here, $1 Billion Babies was number 5. School's Out is School's Out's number 4. How many? Do I have too many albums on here? No, okay. I'm just mixing up numbers. Okay. $1 Billion Babies was number 6, sorry. Welcome to My Nightmare was number 7. Okay. Killing Time. School's Out is number 5 on here. When my dad bought me Welcome to My Nightmare, he also bought me School's Out. Those 2 albums together at the same time. Love School's Out. Everybody knows the title track. The rest of the album is what's worth listening to. the instrumentation, the arrangements, the musicianship, everything on this album. This is Schools Out is one of the most underrated albums in all of rock and roll. Like the artwork on the album gets huge praises. The song itself, Schools Out, is immortal. It is never going to die. Obviously, it can't. As long as there is school, there will be schools out. But the rest of the album is so underappreciated and undervalued. And I really struggled to put it this far down the list, but it had no choice because the ones I put up ahead of it are just infinitely, arguably superior albums. So the next one after that, Hey Stupid. Another example of a perfectly brilliant, well-produced album, just full of nothing but underrated bangers. There isn't a bad song on this album. This album contains 3 ballads, arguably soft songs, romantic songs, okay? 3 of them. Anybody who knows me knows I hate them. Not on this album, man. One of the greatest Alice Cooper songs of all time, which I will argue being a slower song, is from this album, and that might as well be on Mars. Co-penned by the amazing Dick Wagner. Oh. Thank you, Dick. Plus, you've got, Hey Stupid, Feed My Frankenstein. That was only big enough to get into a Wayne's World movie. They were going to use Schools Out. They switched to Feed My Frankenstein. That's how big they wanted that one to be. So, yeah, Hey Stupid's on here. Plus, you got, Wind Up Toy, Hurricane Years, Dirty Dreams, might as well be on Mars, Love Snakebite, Love's a Loaded Gun. I mean, just no bad songs. If it wasn't for the fact that there's 3 ballads, I'd call it a perfect 10 album. Speaking of, wanting to call them perfect 10 albums, Dada is number 3. One song stops this album from being a perfect 10 for me, and that's Dyslexia, which I just find a little cheesy and goofy at points. Good tune. It is fun. I understand it being on here. It helps break up some of the darkness. But even though it's dark in its own sense, Dada is a brilliant album. One of Alice's Blackout albums, probably the darkest album Alice will ever write. Absolutely brilliant, though. Absolutely brilliant. And when Alice talks about what he went through during the nose candy years, which is the Blackout years, you can hear a lot of it in this album. Especially when he talks about the day he woke up, when he tells that story. Go watch the Professor of Rock interview with Alice. It's really good. Okay, next 2 albums. Number 2, Love It to Death, which is basically a greatest hits album with a couple... not a greatest hit, a best of album, okay? Basically, it's a best of album. And it's got some of the greatest ones ever. Ballad of Dwight Fry, I'm 18. Okay, I don't need to say anything more beyond those. Plus, you have everything else that's on there, man. Caught in a Dream, Long Way to Go, all brilliant. And then the number 1 album is Killer. Now, if you're one of my regular viewers, you knew that Killer was going to be the number 1 album on here. Killer is, without a doubt, except for 2 songs, it is a best of album. And the 2 songs that are on there could be on best of as well, because the 2 weakest songs are the only ones I'm going to mention, which is You Drive Me Nervous and Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. The 2 weakest songs on the album I'm going to name, and I'm going to let you go listen to the rest, because the rest of the album is absolutely immortal and just brilliant beyond brilliant. Perfect 10 album, without a doubt, because the 2 weakest songs, Drive Me Nervous and Yeah, 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 are still complete bangers that Alice will play live occasionally. It's been a while since he's pulled them out, but still pulls them out from time to time to play live because they're that cool. So the Killer album, man. All right, folks, that's my top 10 and 10. Comments down below. I want your top 10 Alice Cooper albums. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. There's a couple links worth checking out. Peace, love, take care.